From career-damaging feuds to a nude leak, Blake Lively's hidden story is starting to unfold, and we're here to show you everything. The cracks in her seemingly perfect marriage with Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds started to surface when he made a surprise appearance on The Tonight Show in 2021. Jimmy Fallon asked the Hollywood star how his wife Blake is doing, but the answer Reynolds delivered wasn't so palatable. In typical Ryan Reynolds fashion, he invoked his funny bone and made a joke about how she was doing great, but the sex was regular. The audience laughed, but you could see Jimmy visibly squirm at this, despite it being a joke. Lots of people caught onto this, and since then, the internet has been rife with theories about what that interaction meant. Was he deflecting, making a private joke between Blake and him? Or was it a warning shot? Viewers had already started asking the question, what exactly were they hiding? And was everything all right with their marriage? To find an answer to this question, let's take a look at her past relationships to see if Blake Lively has had any issues like this in her past relationships. From Leonardo DiCaprio to Ryan Reynolds and Penn, Blake has the talent of getting with gorgeous men over the years. Suspiciously, most of these men have turned out to be fellow co-stars of hers, which is quite common in Hollywood. According to Blake, she has only been with men she considers her boyfriends, which she claims are only 4. All 4 of these men and her relationships are well known, starting with Kelly Bratz, a childhood friend and fellow actor, with whom she dated from 2004 to 2007. Details about their relationship aren't well known because they split before she skyrocketed to fame, but according to reports, their split was amicable. After Kelly, she dated fellow Gossip Girl alum Penn from 2007 to 2010. This relationship was well established because it began in the show's first season, where they played an on-screen couple, Serena van der Woodsen and Dan Humphrey. When Badgley was cast as Dan Humphrey, the two immediately clicked and started dating on set, but the relationship was quite private and brief. It was not until years later, after the 6-season series had ended, that we got some news about what was going on underneath the hood of their relationship and the reasons for their breakup. According to Penn, he found dating Blake to be a struggle because he had a difficult time differentiating between his on-screen persona and his real-life self. This sentiment was also shared by Blake, who felt that she was dating the same person from the show. Despite this struggle, they had a good relationship, which Penn has described as fun and fast-paced. Both claim to have parted amicably, and Blake went on to date other Hollywood superstars. Blake Lively then went on to date Hollywood superstar Leonardo DiCaprio. Their relationship was short-lived and can only be described as a summer fling. The only issue is that it was highly publicized, with paparazzi working hard to get pictures of the two of them together. The two were first spotted together in Cannes, New York, and later on a yacht in France in 2011. It only lasted 5 months, but this relationship generated a whirlwind that reverberated throughout the Hollywood industry. DiCaprio was not the only Hollywood star at the time she was rumored to be with. There were speculations at that time of a relationship with Hollywood heartthrob Ryan Gosling. Their brief relationship sparked excitement among fans, especially after they were spotted together at Disneyland while Gosling was filming the movie Drive. Several sources with an eye on the relationship inferred that the two had been on several outings together, but nothing serious materialized between the two. Unfortunately, all evidence points to this relationship as being an unsubstantiated rumor. Despite it most likely being a rumor, Blake Lively has used this supposed relationship to tease her husband, Ryan Reynolds, over the years. But how did they meet? The start of their relationship can be traced back to 2010, when Blake Lively was still riding high on the success of Gossip Girl, and Ryan Reynolds was still married to Scarlett Johansson. That same year, both were cast in the superhero flick Green Lantern, a film that flopped at the box office but turned out to be life-changing for both of them. At the time, Blake was still dating Gossip Girl co-star Penn, but by the time Green Lantern was released in 2011, both had already split from their respective partners. Rumors swirled that Blake and Ryan's chemistry on set may have sparked earlier than either party would publicly admit. Many fans were confident that this wasn't a coincidence, and it hints at the fact that the two might have been in a relationship while Ryan Reynolds was still with Scarlett Johansson. What we do know is that after a double date where they were each with other people, the sparks became undeniable, and by October 2011, they were officially an item. Unknown to fans of the pairing, a marriage was on the way. The couple shocked fans and Hollywood with a secret wedding in South Carolina in September 2012. But such a joyous moment wasn't without controversy, because the wedding took place on a former slave plantation called Boone Hall. The backlash was immediate, with critics labeling it tone-deaf and insensitive. Years later, Ryan publicly apologized and deeply regretted hosting the ceremony in such a place. However, life moves on, and since then, the couple has welcomed 4 children and built a reputation for being loving and fun parents, often seen teasing one another on social media and attending red carpet events side by side. They've also been praised for rarely showing their kids' faces, being very intentional about the parts of their lives they share with the public. However, starting with the Jimmy Fallon incident, several recent events have threatened their relationship. The incident of the missing nudes took place in June 2011, before her relationship with Ryan Reynolds. A series of nude photographs, allegedly depicting Blake Lively, surfaced online. These images showed a woman resembling Lively, some featuring star tattoos similar to those her character wore in the film The Town. Blake Lively's publicist promptly addressed the situation, insisting that the photos were faked and that Blake Lively doesn't take nudes of herself. There's a lot of credence to his claim, especially since Blake's face didn't pop up in the leaked photos. Blake and her PR manager continued to deny these allegations, but the individual responsible for leaking the photos responded by releasing additional images and their statement. The true identity of the woman in the photos was never conclusively determined, and no further legal developments were publicly disclosed. But this incident showed her that as a celebrity, her privacy wasn't guaranteed, and people would always be on the lookout for any scandal in her life. Fast forward to 2025, and amongst the Justin Baldoni drama, Blake starred in a movie called Another Simple Favor 2, but the film's shock centerpiece had everyone, from fans to critics, stunned. In the movie, Blake Lively plays both Emily and her deranged twin, Charity, but in the particular scene that's responsible for the controversy, Charity paralyzes Emily, straddles her, and is implied to have sexually assaulted her. Hollywood hadn't seen anything this disturbing since Blue Velvet, but this time, the scene involved one woman playing both victim and abuser, so it has a lot of people scratching their heads. Whether it was art or exploitation, the backlash was instant. Some critics accused the film of glamorizing trauma, while others claimed it was a deliberate shock tactic designed to stir controversy, to cover up the fact that it was a bad movie. This controversy, coupled with the countersuit by Justin Baldoni, caused Blake's once wholesome image to be tarnished. The veil on Hollywood's seemingly perfect marriage is coming down due to an incident involving a false accusation. In December 2024, Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni, alleging he had sexually harassed her and instigated a retaliatory smear campaign. Lively's complaint described detailed scenarios in which inappropriate behavior had occurred on set. Such behaviors included unsolicited improvisation of intimate scenes and explicit comments towards the actress. Baldoni responded to these accusations, accusing them of defamation and civil extortion, alleging that Lively was attempting to get him cancelled with false allegations to gain creative control of the film. He filed a $400 million countersuit in January 2025 against Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Through Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the beloved star, was embroiled in the legal mess of the case. Baldoni claimed that Reynolds participated in a coordinated effort to damage his reputation, while Reynolds continued to express support for his wife. The reaction to this event was enormous, with some encouraging Lively for speaking up, while others were entirely in support of Justin Baldoni and his claim that this was done to get him out of the creative room for It Ends With Us. This incident rocked the internet, but it also called attention to the fact that this wasn't the first time that Blake Lively had made claims of sexual harassment. According to Lively, she felt uncomfortable around a male makeup artist on set. The man continued to make wildly inappropriate remarks and would put her lipstick on his hands. The man was later reprimanded, but not fired. This prior experience suggests that she may be telling the truth about her experiences with Justin Baldoni. We just have to wait and see. Which of these facts surprises you? And do you believe Blake Lively is wholly justified in her allegations against them? Also, Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates. While you're at it, click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing videos.